Good day, good day. This is Jacob Winston Foster. I'd like to talk to you about my new book called Drugs Top 25. Now, the only reason why I made that book is because I'm seeing the effects of drugs. I don't take drugs. Every so often I'll smoke a cigarette, but drugs, on the other hand, is something that ruins lives. And it's like salt to a snail. It hurts my heart to see people actually take drugs. Now, drugs is not what I'm talking about. Go to a pharmacy, and like for me, I could go to a pharmacy and make my wife some of this and some of that when she's not feeling well. But I wouldn't go and take fesses mixed with baking soda, small tiny amounts of your cocaine, and give my wife that. That is insane. But I can't go in a pharmacy and make my wife some of this and some of that. That's not drugs. Drugs is like cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, anything that will murder me or my wife in like overnight. Overnight. Those are drugs. You have an overdose. It's poison. It is the same thing like rat poison. It is the same thing like gramazone. Drugs. Let's define the word high. What makes a human being get high? THC, tetrahydrocarbonate, makes a human being get high. THC is in certain foods, certain drinks. Do you understand? But drugs, on the other hand, is a poison that is addictive. You're high and already dead. But you go mad because it's poison. Of course, if you take rat poison, you're not in your right mind. And drugs is exactly the same thing. It messes with this, your mind. It just brings everybody to shame. One day you're a good person, and the next day it's just the world upside down. And then you have to deal with the drug smugglers, and then you have to deal with the people who sell drugs, who stock, who stock. Now, how can I explain? Drugs is not something for a human being to take or to be around anybody's house or home. It is not acceptable. Do you understand? If you want to get high, if you're why you're not feeling well, but you like to get high, I could go to a pharmacy. I don't need to go by the drug pusher. I could go by a pharmacy. Somebody that is registered. I make my wife some of this and some of that. But I don't have to go by a drug pusher and get fesses mixed with baking soda with a tiny amount of your drug sprinkle on it and give that, especially to my wife or to whoever it may be, right? That will kill the person. That just brings everybody to shame. Instead of us going forward, we're going backward. Everybody's ashamed. Everybody cries. Seeing the effects of drugs, and people who are high on drugs, they don't understand what exactly they're doing. You could have been a saint. You could have been a president. But instead of this girl trying to do these things, she's taking drugs. No, she's homeless on the road, and then she succumbed to AIDS or she succumbed to drugs, or overdose, and that is the reality of drugs. So I wrote the book so that anybody who wants to know more about the most dangerous drugs in the world or the most addictive drugs in the world, separate to actually me just going in a pharmacy and making my wife some of this and some of that so she could get better off her sickness and she could get a little high, like, wherever drink the alcohol. It's the same thing. But you would go and take heroin, and then when you wake up in 2 3 days, you're there in a prison cell, and they said, "Woman, you had 1,000 men having sex with you for the past 2 days. AIDS you have. You're a child molester. You can't come out of this prison. Stay inside that jail." Do you know how it will tear apart a family home? Do you know how much it will hurt a husband and her kids because she make a mistake and she should heroin and did something foolish? Or she smoked cocaine and started speaking to herself and did something really, really stupid. That's the effects of drugs. Imagine you take cocaine or you take heroin and your entire family has HIV/AIDS after because you was having sex with your husband. You was doing something stupid with your kids. Your whole family have AIDS. You understand what I'm saying? That's what drugs do. It takes you out of that mansion, that big mansion with the supercars, sends you straight to the ghetto. And you can't get out of the ghetto because you're high on drugs. You're going to succumb to AIDS on the main road. You don't want to get out of the ghetto. So you're high on drugs. So that's why I decided to write Drugs Up 25, just to stop the foolishness. Let people understand that drugs is not something to take. It is not something to take. And instead of this world progressing, look, we're going to World War III. Today is, um, let me check to see what date it is today. Let me explain to you something. Hold on, see my watch. Today is the 21st of January 2025. And this is a time capsule also. We're going to World War III. Mass starvation is here around the world. And 1 in 2 people in the United States of America is a beggar and a scam artist that will be on my phone begging me for money instead of assisting me and getting a piece of the pie. You see, if it was to assist me, I might get $1 million. But they prefer to beg. That's drugs. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that is how things are today with drugs. And we are going to World War III. Drugs is not something to be taken. And everybody today is ruining their lives. Everybody today is going into mass starvation. Everybody today they have to leave their addresses and be with shit and scum to assume that things are appropriate. Somebody could have just come and talked to me, and I could explain. Well, boy, so and so is the case, all right, and we could have a good discussion, and then you could have get wherever it is. Plus, I could have buy a watch. But instead, you would shout, you would cuss, and you would start to hit me because you're high on drugs. And that is how the world is today. So please, everybody who has been affected by drugs, everybody who wants to know the top 25 most addictive and dangerous drugs to kill a human being, then buy my book. Learn something and prevent your wife and your kids or whoever it is from taking drugs. And you will heal this world. You wouldn't destroy this world. You will heal this world because people wouldn't be temperamental and people would be in their sane minds and thoughts. So everybody, go check Amazon, go check in bookstores worldwide and buy my book, Drugs Top 25 by Packa Beatz Entertainment / Jacob Winston Foster. I love every single one of you. Have a good day.